stumble and fail, though a host should encamp against me, though war should rise against me, my heart shall not fear. For one thing promises have I desired of the Lord, that will I seek after, that I may dwell in the house of the Lord all the days of, not just all the days of my life, to behold the beauty of the Lord and to inquire in his temple. Hey, when my mother and my father forsake me, when my friends turn their back on me, then the Lord will take me. The Lord will take me up. Yeah. If my God had not gotten up, I couldn't be telling you this morning. I couldn't tell you he went and found Peter to let him know that it's really all right. If he hadn't gotten up, I couldn't tell you how John asked one day, Peter, do you love me? And Peter said, Lord, you know I love you. Then Peter, feed my sheep. And you ask him again, Peter began to get frustrated. Peter, do you really love me? He said, Lord, I love you. Then feed my sheep. And then he said, Peter, do you really love me? Do you really love me? I said, wait a minute, I've been walking with you. I've been talking with you. I made some sacrifices for you. You know that I love you, Lord. Then feed my lambs. If you had not gotten up, I wouldn't have nothing in this place to preach. And you wouldn't have nothing to believe. He promises forgiveness, and he's never broken one of his promises. And speaking again on promises, the Lord himself said, go ahead. Go ahead. Drive the nail in my hand. Go ahead. Put a crown of thorns on my head. Go ahead. Stick a spear in my side. Go ahead. Stretch me high up on a cross. Go ahead. Put me down in a tomb. Go ahead. Roll a stone in the midst of the tomb of the entrance. Go ahead. Seal the stone. But I promise you, I will rise. I will rise again. If I hadn't gotten up, if he hadn't gotten up, I wouldn't have nothing to preach, and you'd have nothing to believe. And because he got up, you can trust on his promises. He promises to finish the job. He promised to finish the job. He promised to dry my weeping eyes. He promised to be a mother for me when I'm motherless. He promised to be a father to the fatherless. He promised he would make a way somehow. He promised to bring things out all right. He promised he'd give me power. He promised never to leave me alone. If he hadn't gotten up, I couldn't tell you just when I need him most. Just as is he near? If he hadn't gotten up, I couldn't in my blindness call him out, Jesus, Son of David, have mercy on me. Tell your neighbor, I'm glad he got up. I'm glad he got up. If he didn't get up, I couldn't tell you about his presence. If he couldn't tell you, I couldn't tell you about his promises. He promised never to leave me alone. And I want you to know that I know he's a burden bearer. He's a heavy load sharer. He's a mind regulator. He's a mind regulator. He's a body healer. He's a wonderful counselor. He's a mighty God. He's an everlasting Father. He's a battle axe in the time of trouble, and even a shelter in the time of storm. I thank God for his promises. I thank God that he got up one day. And as long as I live, when trouble rise, I'll always hasten to his throne, because he's all right with me. He's a good God anyhow. I don't know about you, but he's all right. He's all right. I know him for myself, and he brought me from a mighty long way. When my soul looked back to wonder how I got over, yeah, he's all right. Oh. Tell your neighbor, I'm glad he got up. Are you really glad he got up? I'm glad he got up, because every time I need him, he's always there. I got to stop now because my time is gone. But do you really love the Lord? Do you really love him? I mean, do you really love him? Has he been good to you? Has he brought you from a mighty long way? Didn't he wake you up this morning? Didn't he start you on your way? Why don't you say thank you? Can I get anybody here to say thank you? Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. Everybody standing on your feet. I've seen the lightning flashing. I've heard the thunder roll. I've felt sin breakers dashing, trying to conquer my soul. The doors of the church open, telling still to fight on. He promised never. The doors of the church open. The doors of the church open. No, never alone. He promised never to leave me, never to leave me alone. The doors of the church open. Never alone. No, never alone. He promised never to leave me, never to leave me alone. The doors of the church open. Is there someone right now? The church open. Are you that one? Are you that other one that want to come right now? Yeah, yeah. Come on, no, never alone. No, never alone. Oh Lord, no, never. Never be alone. No. The doors of the church open. Does someone else want to come right now? The doors are open just for you. Yeah, the doors are open.